This has been making the rounds, and it's not the first time. In fact, when this first came out, I thought they were referring to a story that happened, about a year ago now, which is exactly the same.
It's a new one, though, because it's on camera.
Yeah. So let's explain to all of our viewers listening.
I'll narrate.
I should say listening.
Yes.
Listeners.
What's your name? So, can you pause it?
Yeah.
So what we have is a dude in a cage, if you're listening. He's trapped. It kind of looks like an electric chair almost. It's got bars all over the place.
It's like a stockade, from back in the day, like when you pelt someone with vegetables in medieval times.
Imagine that, except your head's not in it, your body's in it.
Yeah.
And it's made of metal.
Yeah.
Right.
It's basically a restraint.
Yeah.
This is the chairman number 2.
I will be the criminal. You can be the cops. What do you think?
Okay, let's narrate this.
Kind of like real life. Lu Hua, he says his name.
So I'm the cops here. What am I going to say? Do you know why you're here?
I know, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
I drank too much and spoke nonsense.
What do you do for a living?
Nothing particular. I attend to my dad at home.
So he's sick. Now, before we even move on here, this is a very strong psychological thing that they're doing here. In China, involving family is always the easiest and quickest route to shut someone up and to scare someone. They try to do it with us all the time. So the cops are bringing his family into this straight away, just to let him know just how serious this is. Because oh, your father's sick, eh? It's that kind of thing to make him like, oh shit, now they're bringing my dad into this.
For those of the people who haven't seen this yet are going to get all hyped up thinking this is like a super high level criminal that they caught. But you're about to find out what he did.
Yeah, no, he didn't do...
Well.
Yeah, let's see, okay. Then why did you complain about police on QQ and WeChat? So he's like, oh, so your father's sick, eh? So then why did you complain about police on QQ and WeChat? Yeah. What is that going to do with anything? Oh, so your father's sick, eh? So then why did you go buy milk at the store? Actually, they don't sell milk, really, so...
Well, they have that shelf milk.
Yeah, that's true. So then...
This is
when?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, what time?
Last night, around 9.
On WeChat?
Yes.
In a group chat?
It's about someone riding a motorcycle, and there was a picture. So I just commented.
How many people in the group?
75.
What's your screen name?
Wind chasing Lu Hua.
Wind chasing Lu Hua? Why did you talk about the traffic police online? Why did you talk about the traffic police online? About them confiscating motorcycles? What's wrong with the police confiscating motorcycles?
Nothing wrong with that.
You're not sounding under duress.
All right, fine. I'll add a little.
So why did you badmouth the police?
I drunk too much.
That's your excuse? Drank too much? Why did you badmouth the police? Do you hate the police?
No.
So why did you badmouth the police?
I drunk too much.
What's your intention?
Nothing at all.
So you were just making a joke in the group chat?
I was telling a joke, nothing more. I know I'm wrong.
Do you really mean it?
Absolutely.
So you didn't mean to badmouth the police?
Definitely not. I just drank a bit too much.
Any words for the police?
Uncle Police, I'm so sorry. I'm wrong. I know that now. Uncle Police, I'm so sorry. I'm wrong. I know that now. Please forgive me. I won't do it again ever.
Yeah.
Go back to his image.
We'll take a look. This, by the way, for those of you who are not actually familiar with the way China works, this is kind of been a part of China for a very long time. This public humiliation. Whenever somebody is caught doing something wrong, they like to put signs on them and parade them around in the streets. I've seen it with my own eyes when they busted prostitutes. And,
they always do that, yeah.
And they busted Johns. They basically carted them around in Shenzhen. This is way back when I first got there. I have no idea what was going on. And they were wearing like bright yellow.
I'm a whore.
And, with written on there, I'm a prostitute, and like I solicit prostitution on the guys. And if you get caught drunk driving, they make you take these mandatory classes, which basically you have to sit there in a pink T-shirt that said "I drove drunk," and then it's like they film it, and then the cop says, you know, it's bad to drive drunk, and everyone's like, yes, it's bad to drive drunk, and they get filmed and put on TV and stuff.
They don't do this to everyone that commits a crime. This is just when they want to make propaganda out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's if you go back into like ancient times in China, they do this
since
anyway.
ancient times.
Yeah, since ancient times.
Right.
And obviously during the Cultural Revolution, like they do all those struggle sessions in public, and they put those placards on people. I'm a landlord, or blah blah blah. It's pretty dire to see this kind of behavior coming back into the spotlight in China again, because I mean this is very dehumanizing.
Sure.
It's totally unnecessary, and let's give a little bit of backstory about what actually happened here, because this is something we can relate to.
Yeah, so Liu Hua, this guy, I want to preface this by saying that all the stuff, the crimes that you're talking about, and then the public humiliation, we're kind of used to that in China, and I'm not making excuses for it, but it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Sure.
This type of action.
Sure.
The problem I have with this is the kind of public humiliation, the things that these people are doing to warrant this punishment is getting so like easy to break the law.
Yeah.
It's insane. So this guy went on WeChat and he posted a picture of some traffic cops confiscating a motorcycle. Most cities in China, you can't ride a motorcycle within city limits, right? Yeah. So he did this and he said something along the lines of F the police. I can't believe they're taking motorcycles. This is unfair, blah, blah, blah. Within 3 hours, right? He also did this on QQ.
Yeah.
Within 3 hours, the cops arrested him, and this is the interrogation from the next day when they got all the cameras set up and he had it all prepared. So he was in the police station overnight.
Yeah.
For saying that the police suck, basically. Yeah. For taking motorcycles.
Yeah. And this is something that we've been party to this. You know, we've been in groups where, you know, because motorcycle riders and motorcycle enthusiasts in China really have a raw deal. Okay? Unless you live in Shanghai or Beijing, where they've got laws that allow you to ride bikes, it's a little bit more organized. But most of the Chinese cities, like outside of the very big cities, you're not allowed to ride a motorcycle in the city limits, like you say. So when you've got motorcycle enthusiasts, even if you have a legal bike that's registered and insured and everything, you're not allowed to drive it into most cities. They have like areas you're not allowed to bring it into, right? So what'll happen is in these groups, people will post pictures. Oh, the cops are confiscating motorcycles here, here, and here. So just avoid these areas. Don't go into this town. Don't go. And people will be like, why don't they have anything better to do? Because they do. They take your bike away and you never get it back. They're like,
unless you bribe them.
Yeah,
which happens.
They pretty much destroy it or they sell it on or whatever. So they're, in essence, stealing your motorcycle. So motorcycle guys like us get really frustrated. And we vent in the groups and we take photos of the cops.
You're like, avoid this road.
Yeah, don't go on this road. They're taking bikes. So this is pretty much what he did. He saw the picture and he's like, or he took the picture and he's like, screw these guys. They're taking bikes again. And he ends up being interrogated and like shackled in a chair. And obviously detained, and he probably has like a criminal record now, and like he's humiliated, he's lost face for his entire family and everything like that.
So these are scare tactics so people don't do it again. So there was kind of inefficient for the cops to go stand on the side of the road and take bikes all day because people would avoid it, right? Yeah. So now they're going to the roots level and just actually looking at private conversations, which is insane. That's some Orwellian shit.
Yeah, it is. It's literally like the thought police, you know?
Wrong speak.
Yeah. So this guy has been arrested, and you know, this whole thing about like, oh, so you're going to talk bad about the police thing? It's so annoying, and the fact that they bring his family into it and stuff. This is just a glimpse into the way China is heading, or has been for quite some time. And this is something that I constantly have to remind people that deal with China and who live in China, is that you can fall afoul of this stuff. It is possible. Yeah. You know, and until you do, China is an amazingly free and open and great place to live and work and walk around, and you think everything's totally fine. But it's when you When you bump into a situation like this is when you get woken up straight away and you realize that it's not all roses. And in fact, there's a lot of societal issues. And the way that the government and the police run the place is actually very, very sort of bad.
And what I've said for years and years to people is that, yes, China does on the surface feel very free.
Yeah.
And you said, like, yeah, you have to get, when you get bitten, you wake up and you're like, this is actually one of the most archaic rules of law society in the world.
Yeah, and then you realize there's a 99% conviction rate.
So my problem with this whole evolution of like cracking down on stuff in China is that you don't know today what's legal and what tomorrow is going to be illegal. That's the problem. You don't know what they're going to decide they don't want anymore.
Pretty much
that's the issue.
The way it works in China is that everything is illegal.
Yes.
But it's all tolerated.
Right.
And then they just decide which illegal activity they're not going to tolerate next. And you don't know what that could be. It could be something like wearing green shoes. It's just one of these things.
I've always had an issue with people that keep harping on us about like, well, who cares if that's the law and they don't want motorcycles in their country, even though it's stupid for stupid reasons because they don't want China to look poor. Then don't worry about it. Like, there's other things you can do that doesn't affect most people. But it's the precedent of how they're cracking down on this kind of stuff that's more important than the actual taking of motorcycles.
Absolutely. And also the fact that the law changes all the time. So you get rid of your bike and you get an e-bike. Then they
ban those.
E-bikes illegal, and you don't know that this has happened, and you happen to be riding around and you get nabbed. So it's kind of tough. Anyway, it's pretty crappy.
That poor guy.
Yeah. But hopefully he serves as a bit of a wake-up call for a lot of people out there.
Here's our hotel in Shaoguan.
Wow, what a view.
One hotel I stayed in once, it had curtains. You opened it, it was just a wall. I'm not even joking. No one wants to watch someone else take a turd. Okay, I don't care how close you are to them. You just don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it.
Look at Mark on the side of the road, turning tricks. Hanging out with a hose. Hey, T-Milk. Hey! Stop! I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you want? Hey, T-Milk.
What? I love that. That is incredibly cringe.
It's very cringe. Your writing style is an inspiration.
When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.